Hi and welcome back. Now I'd like to have a look at the role of the team leader in this project or almost any team. In our experience, particularly in this subject, a good team leader will count for much more or have more effect on the project than good technical skills. So it's worth having a look at what is expected of you. If you are the team leader, what are you expected to do and what makes a better one than other times? So now I have to say that a strong leader is not a bossy leader. A strong leader, bossy leader just bosses everyone around, and quite often the students slip into that quite well because it's nice when someone else tells them what to do, but it doesn't work so good. So a strong leader is not a bossy leader, but they do make decisions. A strong leadership comes through the group being organised, knowing what they're expected to do, knowing what's expected of them, their role in it, and the standard with the work is to be done, whether the project is slipping or ahead, and how it can be adjusted to that. Now this kind of leadership in many ways equates to administration. There's a lot of that into it as well, but there's more to it than that. However, if you are the leader, you do have to monitor all of the aspects of the project so that you know what the state of it is, you know where you're supposed to be, and you know if you're not there, what you really want to do to catch up. Now, the project leader's job is to make decisions, usually. If the project leader is not making the decisions, then whoever the decision maker is the project leader. So it's kind of by definition, really. Good decisions are usually welcomed. Bad decisions will be debated. Now, this is not the military, but the military has had a good look at quite a lot of these matters, because decision making in a military context matters quite a lot. I mean, it usually is a matter of life and death, so they tend to be pretty good at it, and they are often facing highly volatile situations. So having a look at what the military has discovered or found about leadership is probably a reasonable thing to do. Now, the supposed good leaders in the military tend to run through the same kind of thing and come out with things like, here's what I think we face, here's what I think we should do, here's why, and here's what we should keep our eye on. Now talk to me. So they go through trying to articulate what the situation is, what they want to do about it, what kind of thing can go wrong or what they should pay attention to, and then ask for opinions. Now there is also, has been some studies into leadership styles or the fact that what a leader does changes during any particular project or any situation. And there has been published that I think it's called the G model of leadership, which you can see there. And it's put in this quadrant of directing, consulting, delegating, and coaching. And usually this is what happens. That if somebody comes across a situation, if they're a leader, they'll start initially by directing, right? Everybody get in the room, and we will discuss all the situation. And then the consulting is, tell me about the situation, so they listen to everything that's going on, so they get a thorough understanding of the situation. Then they'll go back to directing. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'll listen to you all, here's what we're going to do. And I will delegate this task to you, and this task to you, and this task to you. And, so everybody gets their marching orders. And then they go on with coaching. Having told everybody what to do, they leave them alone to get on with it and provide support, encouragement, and advice as needed. So that's the coaching role of it all. Now that seems to have been fairly well established as pretty much the habits of fairly effective leaders. In this subject, the team leader's plans or team leader's tasks include planning the project. Now that is they don't sit there and just back it up and present it to everybody. They ask everybody to participate and essentially coordinate the development of this plan so that everybody agrees this is what we're going to do. Is not a inflexible plan. It's just people need to know what they're going to do, what they're expected to do, and when, and who's taking care of it after that. So that's the first thing that the team leader should do. The second thing is, having done that, they need to monitor the project and have some idea of, are we making enough progress? Are we getting enough done? Is it being done well enough? Are we going to get finished? Are we going to succeed? And this is the kind of question that they should be able to answer. Now, the team is human, and you probably don't know as much about software engineering as you might like to think, and things will go wrong. So, the question is not, will things go wrong? They will. But how are you going to recognize they've gone wrong? And how are you going to respond to that so you can repair the damage or overcome the problem? So that's something that the project leader needs to think about as well. What can go wrong? How will you recognize it's gone wrong? And how can you minimize the chance of it going wrong? And how can you overcome it or repair it when it does go wrong?